Hey guys, today I'm gonna be reviewing the Sonic movie 3 in my own opinion, and what I think of the movie in my own opinion. So, without further ado, let's just get into this review. So, what do I think about the Sonic movie 3? Well, for sure it's way a lot more better than the Sonic movie 2 and the Sonic movie 1 combined, actually. It is so good that if you see the movie, you would not believe on what things you expect from the movie. And for sure and hella sure, this movie would blow your expectations, like what the first one did and even the second one did. And for sure this one, I'd say it's a lot more darker than I thought it would be. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some goofy goober stuff in the movie, but I think the movie really does take itself very seriously than even the second one did. Though I do say that the first one is a little bit more serious, but the second one is a lot more goofier because Tails and Knuckles are in there and it's more comedy than rather seriousness. But I think the third one does show seriousness, well, because my favorite character, Shadow the Hedgehog, is in it. And I just love Shadow the Hedgehog as Keanu Reeves. And I know a lot of people did say that they don't like Shadow in Sonic X Shadow Generations as movie Shadow, but I really do think that movie Shadow does carry the actual story of the Sonic movie 3. And it's so good. It's like one of the best stories of the Sonic movie lore, or even the Sonic franchise for all that matter. It is so good that if you see the Shadow and Maria parts, you would legit cry when you see the movie. Like, it's like the Sonic X Shadow Generations Dark Beginning, but in live action form. It's like if you see like the Spider-Man films and you see those comic accurate panels, and it's translated so well into movie form, that's exactly what you're getting in this one. It's so good. Like, I don't even think the video game actually handled the actual relationship of Shadow and Maria this well compared to the movie, and I'm surprised because I think I actually lowered my expectations of the Sonic movies as of lately, because like seeing through the actual movies, you can tell like it's more kiddie friendly. And don't get me wrong, this one is surely as kid-friendly as it could be for a PG movie, but I think they really did handle the risks that it takes for the actual movie to be this good. And it's this really great thing that they did, because they really took their time to actually say, you know what, this is a PG movie, but we're really risking it to actually make it as good as it does. You know, they say damn, they said crap, and they said a lot of things in the movie, and it's really great to see, So, and another thing, this is spoilers, and I really don't want this to be this, bad of an actual movie, so I'm gonna say it as brief as I can. So, if you see the third act of the story, like, it's so good, Obviously, it's just one of the best things that you would ever see in Sonic history, and my god, it did tear me up when I see it, I mean, this ain't... Thanos got nothing compared to what they got in the Sonic movie 3 has. So, you ready on what I'm gonna say? Okay. So, Super Sonic and Super Shadow did appear in this movie, and oh my god, I popped off in the movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm always introverted, so the likeliness of me popping off is 0 to none. And I did not care. It was so good that literally I screamed on my top of my lungs when I see Super Shadow in it. And I don't care if anyone was hushing me for it, and that was really good. So anyways, so Super Sonic and Super Shadow were fighting from the actual scene, and literally Super Sonic was beating the crap out of Super Shadow, and right, So, right when Super Sonic was about to kill Super Shadow, there's that flashback of Tom Mikowski right before he dies in the actual movie, and it was gut-wrenching, honestly. I really do enjoy the actual Super Sonic and Super Shadow actually gazing up at the stars, and it's just, they see how beautiful it is and how every time the star shines, even if it's dark. That that quote is so beautiful from Shadow, you know. Personally, I mean, this is my own opinion of what I like about Shadow. The reason why I think Keanu Reeves is the best Shadow in my opinion, and I know it's mixed. It's like how Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man and that's mixed too, is because I feel like there's a sincerity of Shadow, and I feel like at least the modern Shadows that we see is like so insincere in my opinion. I feel like they portray Shadow as more of a dick than rather an insecure person that lost someone in their life, which is Maria, obviously. And I mean, yeah, Shadow has always been this mean character, but he's never too mean. And while you can make him as mean as possible, I'm not saying that you just don't ruin the character of Shadow. And that's all I really gotta say. But anyways, so when Shadow was saying how the stars were gazing in the dark, it really does bring a connection with Sonic and Shadow and how much they really seem to have a relatable connection with each other over whatever their characters have been killed. And even if Shadow had lost Maria during the gun war, he still accepts and still rescues Sonic because, you know, he does have a heart for Sonic. And, well, pause on that. And I think that it's just so sincere that, like, Shadow is willing to rescue his friends and sacrifice himself during the actual Space Colony arc, and it's just so sad. It's really like I know it's like it's so sappy, and it's just like, oh, why is it so sappy? Why is it so like oh, you know, like it's like, but like that's the thing, because if it's so sappy, it's just, it really does bring a tear in your eye on how you see these characters and see how relatable they are. Because if you don't see them as their sappy little selves, then how would you see them as actual characters? They'll become stereotypes if you just see them in that way. And that's how I see it. And if you really do like just Keanu Reeves just being the most relatable character in the world, then you would love Shadow the Hedgehog. And I felt like, for me personally, as someone of an introvert myself, I really do care about people as much as how he cares about Maria, you know. Sometimes, you know, you really do miss a lot of those people that are in your life, and, you know, you can't really get them back, you know. And honestly, for that, I really do think that he's a really great character in this movie. That's why he's like my favorite character in the whole franchise, you know, and they really did a great job in the actual film. Speaking of actually great characters, I really think that Knuckles is so good in this actual movie. Oh my god, like, dude, I like Sonic 2 Knuckles and how great he is in that, but I think Knuckles in Sonic Movie 3 is so good. Like, how comedic can he be? Like, I never really think like his own stoic nature in the Sonic Movie 2 is that comedic. He doesn't really have a lot of lines in that, but in the third one, not only is he like very you know, stoic, which he is, and that's important too, but he's very funny in this one. he really does steal the actual show a little bit, but nothing is gonna compete with Jim Carrey's actual act. And Gerald Robotnik and Jim Carrey is just a whole other story. And if you love Jim Carrey in this movie, then you would see him in like 60% in the movie, and it's so good. I really think that, not only can he do like those funny moments really well, but he could do very serious and dramatic moments too. Like when shit gets real when Jim Carrey performs. Like, it's so well done with this, and those final battles that he has with the spaceship that goes on around the space, and it's like, when you see that as Gerald, it's like, oh my god, like, this guy is heartless, like, he really does Eggman really well, and if this is the last role that he is, like, I mean, I don't really know Jim Carrey's life, I don't know what he's gonna do next after those movies, after the Sonic movies. I really think if he does retire in the third one, like, he does a phenomenal job in this one. This is easily the best Jim Carrey role he's ever done, and it's saying a lot because, I love Jim Carrey, honestly. The Grinch, well, but I personally like Liar Liar and what is the other one I saw recently? It's like this romantic movie where Jim Carrey is. That's a pretty good movie. So he does a lot of great movies, and it's just so good that he's in. Like, every time he's appeared in it, it's always so fun to watch him in. And it's the same thing with the Sonic movies, and it's just funny. But overall, I do say that this movie is easily the best of the trilogy. And I know there's a fourth one, and I'm surprised I haven't even talked about the post-credit scene. Would I? I would say I would. Okay, so post-credit scene time. So in the post-credit scene, you see there is this character called Amy that's in there, and it's just like, what? Amy is in the movie? It's like, no way, like, okay. And then Metal Sonic is in it, and it's like, yeah, I could see that, it does not beat. Well, I am excited about it, but it's like, come on, man, you can't beat Shadow though. Like, really, like, okay, but like, still, that's a pretty good post-credit scene. But like, yeah, like, and honestly, the second one, that was worth it though. Like, dude, we need those characters to be back. But alright, so if that's all I gotta say, I really have that all I can say. So I really do think this is the best video game movie of all time. I really do think so. And like, and it's facts too. If you see the Reddit score, if you see the actual the Metacritic score, it's like very good. 86? Like, what? There is no video game movie that is that good. I'm sorry. Well, except for Arcane, but that's a Netflix series. But but for the Sonic movies and video game movies in general, like, not even the Mario movie can do that. And I know I'm rambling too long, but okay, closing time. So, anyways, that's all I gotta say for now. Thank you so much for watching this review, and I'll see myself in the next one. Have a good one.